to thank her in behalf of Beautify San Jose, and the Vice Mayor will be speaking in just a second, but this is just a little thank you in behalf of ARVAC for Beautify San Jose and keeping up with programs like that for our city. Thank you. So, although we got lots of money, we could use a little bit more money. So we went off and put a page on GoFundMe. And we asked for some money, and the people in this community came through for us and gave us more than we asked for. So it was so great. It was so wonderful. So yay! Okay. All right. So we have money. We have an idea, but where do we put a mural? How about this great wall right here where everybody, as they're coming up, they can see this. But guess what? We need to go off and talk to the owner of the wall. And the owner of the wall is Fred Ho, and his wonderful son, Tony. I have two of them. One for Fred.
One green, one. Yes.
And one for Tony. Oh, Tony's mother. Thank you so much. And so Fred has been so great. He loved the idea of the mural. And you're welcome. And he's been so easy to work with. As you know, ARVAC, we've been trying to work on the village to clean it up, make it safer, make it happier, so we can all enjoy it. And every time we come to Fred with another crazy idea, he's usually pretty open to it. He's put in security cameras, he's put in more lighting, he's dealing with riffraff, so it's just so terrific. So Fred, would you like a few minutes? Would you like a minute or two to say something?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you for everybody. You know, we are live in this beautiful San Jose, especially this Alum Rock Village. Well, you know, a few years ago, I was acquired this property. I said, this is a very good place. At that time, our economy was down. I was looking at the environment. I said, I gotta make this become a landmark of this area. So, well, I'm lucky we have the city, we have the neighborhood association support us. So let's make this place great, and then let's protect this mural in here. Thank you for Carlos, and thanks for the Vice Mayor in here. Thank you for the neighborhood association here. Thank you. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Fred. Thank you so much. Okay, so next on the agenda, we are lucky to have the Vice Mayor, Magdalena Carrasco, here to say a couple of words. She's a busy lady, so we were lucky to get her. And by the way, thank you for all your support.
No, this is what I love to do. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know. It's just a happy day, and I could not be happier than to be here with all of you and to celebrate this amazing mural. This mural is so symbolic of what this community is about. It's about resilience. It's about collaboration. It's about our residents, it's about our neighborhood, and it's about our businesses and city really coming together. And I really want to thank ARVAC, which is where's ARVAC? Where's all the members of ARVAC? Please raise your hand, because you were energized and you were a driving force and you were relentless when you came to us, to my office and to my staff and said, we want to clean it up. We want to revitalize the businesses. We want to make sure that we are a point of pride for the east side of San Jose. And if we only had that kind of energy throughout the entire city, let me tell you, I think that this is one of the most amazing cities in the country, but to have that kind of energy really would amplify it even more so. So I want to thank ARVAC, but I want to thank also Fred. And Fred, I'm telling you, if we had all the businesses down Alum Rock, down White Road, down Kings, down Story Road, we wouldn't have an issue. So thank you for donating your wall, but thank you for donating your spirit, and thank you for donating your energy, because we know that you're going to be a leading force in our business corridor, making sure that the entire Alum Rock corridor is going to be revitalized. And what better way to revitalize a business district than to come together with our neighbors and to display such beautiful public works for such beautiful reasons and mission. And alongside of that, I really want to introduce to you, I am the I'm your vice mayor, and I serve with such pleasure. I represent this district, which is my pride and joy, next to my children. But I also am the liaison to the Arts Commission, and I want to introduce some of our Arts Commissioners who are here. If you will raise your hand, we have, there we go. And so these are our Arts Commissioners. Please make sure to connect with them, because I know that they will agree that this brings such vibrancy to any community. And we just also inaugurated a beautiful installation just downtown. Make sure to get down there. That's a little plug. But thank you for coming here and being part of this. As you know, this is so important to the heart and soul of any city. This is the heart and soul of any city, is our art, and especially our public art displays. So thank you so much, and that's all I'm going to say, because I know we want to cut that ribbon. Thank you again so much, ARVAC, our businesses, our residents, our neighbors, the Arts Commission, for making sure that we continue to display our students' work. And I want to especially thank Carlos, whom I just met. Where's Carlos? Carlos, thank you for, please come up. Thank you for sharing your God-given talent with our city, but especially for inspiring students and mentoring students, because they will carry on your legacy. And now, what a wonderful and beautiful way to be able to carry your legacy in such a public way. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Okay, next thing on the agenda. So, you know, we have a lot of parks, and there's fun things that go on in San Jose. It doesn't magically happen. There's actually a Department of Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhood Services, and we're lucky enough to have the Deputy Director, Neil Rufino, here, and Neil's going to say a couple of words. And I just want to say, your group was so easy to work with for Viva Calle. You know, went to the meetings, they were fun, emailed them, they would reply back. I don't like silence when I send emails, and so it was really good. So thank you so much, and here you go.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to make my comments quick, because we have a few more important people to hear from this morning. So again, Deputy Director of Park Recreation Neighborhood Services. What was exciting for me is throughout this morning we hear the word fun all the time. Our department. Our comment that we like to make to tell people is that the Park Recreation Department, we build community through fun. And it goes all the way down from the residents that we serve to our staff. I'd like Brian and Zach to raise their hands in the back. These two young gentlemen here are part of the reason why Viva Calle came through your streets. How many people here took part in that? How many people would love to see that every year? More than once a year. All right, that's what we want to talk about. And through this village on a regular basis. So what I'm just proud here is that if you just look around next to you and look at the diversity. This is San Jose, right? This isn't just the east side of San Jose. This is San Jose. When you look at your neighbors, you look at the people standing next to you, this is who we are. And this mural is just a beautiful representation of who we should be and where we're going to be soon. So thank you, everyone. I just want to make sure that we understand, you know, that it was the impetus of our people in our Viva Calle staff who said, hey, we need to do something more. Let's expand versus just the health aspects, the art, you know, the health aspects and the recreational aspects of a Viva Calle, and let's push into the art spaces and just transforming communities. So I want to thank the Viva Calle team again. And my next thing, I am going to introduce Mr. Ramon Martinez. A longtime friend of mine when I worked out here in this community with the Eastside Union High School districts and all the students for many years. Ramon has always been a great mentor and leader and a longtime resident and historian in the Eastside. So Ramon's going to come up and say a few words about the history of the Eastside.
Thank you, Neil. And first I want to clarify, I am not a historian. I'm a person who likes people's stories. So we do a lot to collect them, and that's why we're filming today. First, I just want to comment a little bit about the mural, and in that way talk about a little bit of history. Obviously, the biggest theme name of the mural is the first people who inhabited this area. This area was basically the Ohlone people, basically been here for about 3,000 years. And the water over there that's what drove all life through this valley. And the Ohlone moved up and down all over the waterways in those reed boats that could move in 6 inches of water. Talk about technology. And the coyote is both, I'm sure, part of indigenous culture, but it's also, when the Spanish came, when the Anza came, Father Pedro Font, when he first saw this river, he named it El Arroyo del Coyote. And the coyote in those days and today is still extremely central to all life here. You might recall that a few months ago, El Coyote reminded you that you are not in charge. The coyote is still here. The medicine wheel, that's that round, sometimes it's called the sacred hoop, but it basically talks about the 4 forces of nature, of spirituality, and that's a shout out to the Ohlones. Down in that corner, you don't see it very well, but there's another shout out to indigenous people. It's an Aztec face. It's got 3 layers, and really the 3 layers of faces there represent birth, death, and rebirth. And so again, it goes in with the theme that we're talking about here. When the Mexicans came, this was Rancho Pala. Does anybody know that word from around here? Rancho Pala. And later on, the land was taken over by Mr. Charles White. Does that ring any bells? Anyway, when the Americans came, they were the second Europeans to come. Remember, the Spanish were the first. But when the Americans came, they brought many European ideas, and some of them were ideas about science and ideas about health. So up there, that shows James Lick Observatory. James Lick was a man that came into this area, left what is today would be $15 million to build an observatory, the belief in science. Over here, the Americans and the Europeans already were very familiar with mineral baths and water, and so they established Alum Rock Park. Alum Rock Park, 1872. It's the first city park in the whole state of California, was Alum Rock Park. And you know, they had mineral baths, dance halls, all kinds of entertainment. Trains came from San Francisco and brought people here to the park to use the mineral baths. And then a trolley was built from downtown San Jose to the park that came right up Alum Rock. And so that's the representation over there. I think that the spring flowers up there come back to this theme about life beginning, that it's all a cycle, that we're all involved in something bigger than ourselves as individuals. And so the other thing that is unspoken, but is really in this picture, is the whole idea that the process that I just described has not been easy. We have had some major issues that are still with us. And simply it's called discrimination. That some people deserve more than other people. And certainly then, I'm sure the indigenous people have lots of stories to tell about that idea. But the other thing is that you notice that these big supportive hands around this picture of Miss Flo are that symbol of caring, that this community embraces everyone. You know, Miss Flo was a lady that lived, 88-year-old, lived a few blocks from here, and she was, okay. Anyway, this is a tribute to her. Anyway, lastly, I'll just note that beyond this mural, things fit in because on that side, I consider it part of the mural is El Rodeo. We don't have Rancho Pala, but the vaqueros and the Mexican era of this place is represented there. Then the boy over here has ice creams in his hand, and there's an ice cream shop right there. And that shows the business sense that is still here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce the most important person here, and that is Carlos Rodriguez, who is the artist. Now, yay, Carlos! Now, how did Carlos come to us? Well, he came to us through Viva Calle and through a company called Exhibition District, which is a nonprofit run by Aaron Salazar. And so they introduced Carlos to us. We saw his work. We loved it. And we said, yes, we want Carlos to work for us. But he has to work with the students at James Lick High School, so that was his challenge. And with the department of James Lick High School, we worked with Dr. Jennifer Leafram. And is anyone here representing James Lick High School today?
Come on, guys.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Okay.
Come on.
In fact, some of the students, awesome. So some of the students, these are some of the students who created some of these ideas, and they are Caitlin,
Leslie. Danny.
Annie. Okay, and so we have, yes, a little gift for your art department. And so now I will let Carlos tell the rest of the story.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you really for coming today. I know that we all thought it was going to be pouring, so the fact that you guys are here is really moving to me. You know, I wanted to acknowledge these beautiful minds right here, because without them, really the energy that I need to create something like this just wouldn't be there. I tried doing projects on my own, but the fact is that when the students get involved, when the young minds get involved, that's really when the beautiful ideas start flowing. So I want to give them a round of applause. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you guys so much. Most importantly, when we started this project, there was a week where the sun seemed to be right on top of that pole. I mean, it was really hot. And I knew it was hot, and I knew that I was supposed to be out here no matter what was happening, but they didn't really have to be here. And to my amazement, I'm really proud of you guys, because they really work here hours. I'm talking about 7 hours a day with the heat on our back. I kept asking them to take breaks and drink water and stuff like that. And they were like, no, we're fine, we're fine. So I wanted to commend you guys on that, because that really takes a real muralist to do, a real artist to do, which is regardless of what's going on. Thank you, yeah. You know, the art is more important than ourselves, right? And so with that, I wanted to say, that's the kind of work that I do. To me, it wasn't challenging to work with youth. To me, it's a blessing. And it really is something that, more than the symbolism in the mural, meant the world to me. Because you're really getting a chance to listen to the students, to listen to their classrooms, to listen to the ones that really don't say much, and the ones that want to be involved firsthand, you know? And so this mural really came alive in that way. Yeah, you know, people came and spoke to the students about the history of Alum Rock, and a lot of the stuff that is obviously known through history here from like the 30s on, you know, was dead on. And they all had Alum Rock Park, and they all had the Observatory, and they all, you know, had the trolley, and, you know, they all had the fields, and they had some of the stuff that's being done now to improve the area, but that's not necessarily local to the area. To me, and the gentleman that just came up before me did a beautiful job explaining the mural, so I don't think I have to, but I really want what my part is and what I want to say that I'm mostly honored with, and I have no idea really in detail what it entitles, and I have a special guest here to speak on that today. It is the Ohlone side, right? It's the fact that I saw the importance in putting symbolism up here that made healing happen for everybody. And so just like how we put this symbol here for a community member to heal the rest of the community, and we have representations of Alum Rock Park, you know, we also have this hand, which is a symbol for the farmers' hands that, you know, basically wore themselves to the nub, picking our fruits and making our valley grow and giving that delight to our hearts, right? Because when we eat that fruit, that's when we nurture. And so to me, it was very important that this hand represented the farmers that have made the land prosper, and on the other side, that it was an Ohlone hand that really spoke to us about their history. So with that, I wanted to thank you guys for listening to me, and I want to introduce Joey, who is an Ohlone elder, and he came here today really as a rebel, because there's only, I'll let him tell you guys this story, okay? So thank you so much, Joey, for being here, man. I appreciate you, man.
Blessings. I don't want to take too much of what my brother right here has created on his journey of prayer that he's painted. If prayers can actually see something, we would see this is what a prayer would look like, of understanding the genocide and the cultural trauma of what we are going through. We are the last of the Ohlone Muwekma, the Bay Area, last of the 400 Golden State Warriors, living amongst you, breathing amongst you, working amongst you. And this is the traumatic experience of what cultural genocide is. And for him to actually bless and me not even understand and know that he had that blessing to give his homage and pay respect to painting medicine for our people, to understand that respect right there is, we're a dying breed. We're the last of a dying breed of human being. 400 of my federally state documented. We were federally documented in 1924, and it was taken away by some professors in higher places with attorneys and lawyers. So we were the people who owned and who lived on this land, which we share with you. But this is the product of understanding the concrete that has been consuming us with this beautiful painting. It's a resistance to understand we are the indigenous resistance. Everybody here is brown and has indigenous skin and lives amongst with the struggle that we all go through, and to show that we have so much history that is not real history, of names of places, names of schools, names of streets, names of landmarks and places that we all walk and see every day, and knowing that that's not the history. The missionaries of what we're looking at in certain areas, this is colonization. And then this right here is the blessing of the nature. I'm going to try to keep it as organic and natural as mother's milk with this conversation. But to understand, I'm not mad. This is just the trauma what we live with. And we are blessed to walk and share our lands with you. You know, I don't know how many of my people speak the way I speak and living in sacred and understand prayer, but I see the Creator works in mysterious ways with my brother right here to actually get the blessing of thought, you know, and create it with our medicine, with the basket. That is medicine. That is Ohlone medicine. And right there, it's going to help our community with the vibrancy of the image and the colors and the paintings and the idea of the creation of the children, of the youth. You know, this is not just a one-person thing. This is a community thing that we need to embrace and understand, that everybody who drives by here is going to have a change of frequency of thought, and they're going to understand that the colors play a part of life, because it's a circle of colors, you know? This is my brother right here, my real brother. A lot of brothers, I have a lot of brothers, but my real brother. And you know, we're in a battle right now of identification, of cultural identification, which we're being consumed by being consumers. Now, understanding that plays no part to the value of what spirit is when we pass to the next life of understanding, of conscious, of revolution, of evolution is what we are experiencing. But I love you. I love you, brother. And I love all of you guys. And we walk with you. We cook for you. We live with you. We are on Section 8, housing, government assistance, Shady 80 babies. We are here, and we know what it is to live with the struggle. Blessings.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. So, I definitely, again, I want to thank everybody for being here today. And, but most importantly, for me, I just want to say goodbye, and I want to extend that hand to anybody that's here, that has the power to fund these projects, that has the power to come bring them together, I know that this wasn't an easy situation. There was very little funding for this mural, and it really needed a lot more. And so I just wanted you guys to see the change that it's creating and the dialogue that's opening up, the people that it's bringing out, young, old, you know, babies. We're all here together, and really that's the main message behind this mural, is that we unify, you know, behind our cities, behind our streets. So with that, I want to say thank you guys again, and I want to introduce Mary back.
Thank you. I just want to say one more thing. The students, they were able to get their ideas because Dr. how do you pronounce her name? Lefram reached out to two of the historians in the area. They are Dr. Ramon Martinez, who's filming right now, and Mrs. Judy Thompson, who is just a wealth of information about the area. And one more thing I want to do was give Carlos a little token of our appreciation. I just lost him. Okay, there you go. Okay, thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. I also wanted to say we wanted to dedicate. Sure, okay. And this is the co-chairperson of ARVAC, Jesse Haro.
Hello, everybody. What a great turnout. What I wanted to do is, if you could feast your eyes on the center of the mural, you can see that we have a dedication, a beautiful flower that Carlos envisioned and brought to the canvas, a dedication to Ms. Flo Douglas, who is an inspiration for us in our community, lived here a long time, and inspired us and all the work that we do. And so if Miss Flo's family is here today, we invited them, and I thank you so much for coming today for this dedication. If you wanted to say a few words, sure.
Hola, 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 hola. Just want to say good afternoon to everyone. In honor of my Auntie Flo, we just want to say thank you for all that you have done. This is a beautiful mural that has been placed here for the community, to bring unity to the community. So we thank ARVAC for all that you have done. We thank Carlos. We thank the Vice Mayor. We thank all of you, because together we have unity. We show love for one another. We just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so we're almost done. I just wanted to point out a few people that helped us along the way. The staff at the Dr. Roberto Cruz Library, who've been really great about allowing us to use our facilities, which we'll all be going to in just a second. And so they are always so easy to work with, so that's wonderful. Mike Yang, who I think most of you have noticed, we have a new paint store around the corner, and he was kind enough to give Carlos a discount on the paint, which was really important because there was a lot of paint here. Yes. La Delicias, one of our little restaurants in the village. We're really trying to push all the little shops in the village. You have to patronize the shops or else we can't get new shops to come in. So anyways, La Delicias is catering for us today. Peter's Bakery is donating the desserts for us today. And Guadalupe Flowers is donated all the flowers that you'll be seeing in the meeting room in the library. So thank you everyone for coming, and I hope you love this as much as I love it, and thank you for all your support.
All right, so we got some light bites in the library and the community room, so everybody join us before we all get wet. And thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you for filming everything. And Dr. Lefram wanted a copy of this, and you probably know that. Okay, good. Hi.